first one I want to do is, let's look at 13. Problem is not hard, but the directions make it seem very, very confusing. Okay, so this is what the directions say. In exercises 13 through 16, state the sign, positive or negative, of sine, cosine, and tangent for values of t in the given interval, 0 to pi over 2. Okay, so what this is asking us, okay, here is 0, here's pi over 2, or we called it 1/2 pi. Okay, so if that's 1/2, 1, this would be 1.5, or 3 pi over 2. And then this is also 2 pi back over there where 0 was. Okay, so it's giving us the interval 0 pi over 2. That is not an ordered pair that we're plotting. That is saying between here and here. So it's saying any angle that puts you between here and here, we are to identify, does sine of that angle give us a positive or negative value? Does cosine give us a positive or negative? And does tangent give us a positive or negative? That's all it's asking. But it's really hard to determine that just reading it on your own. Okay, so something in this quadrant, we've got our little cheat up there, all sine, tangent, cosine. What is the SIGN of sine in this quadrant? Positive. What is the SIGN of cosine? Positive. And what about tangent? Positive, because everything is positive. If you're not writing this down, then you are missing out on a free homework problem here. Alright, so that's what it's asking us. So then number 14, it goes to the interval pi over 2 to pi. So now we're just basically moving to the second quadrant. And it's saying, okay, over here, what is sine? What is cosine? And what is tangent? Okay, so second quadrant, what is sine? Positive. What about cosine? Negative. And tangent? Negative. Because remember our thing that says all students take calculus? These are telling us what is positive. So if it's not positive, guess what? It's negative. Okay, so 15 and 16, same thing going on. It's just moving on to the third and fourth quadrants. Okay? Yes, in that order. Okay, so let's jump down to a different problem. Let's go to 17. Sometimes just interpreting what is being asked is the hardest part. Okay, so directions for 17. Determine the sign, positive or negative, of the given value without a calculator. Cosine 143. I am not finding cosine of 143. I am just saying this will be positive or this will be negative. And that's it. Okay, so 143 is in which quadrant? Start at 0. It'll be in the second quadrant, right? Is cosine in the second quadrant positive or negative? Only sine is positive, so cosine will be negative. And that's all it's asking you. Okay? Are we okay with that? Hey, ladies. Yes. You're welcome. I mean, no problem. And Miss Natalie get some?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm glad to. You're welcome.
Okay, let's next look at, so that whole group there, 17 through 20, same thing. You're not finding the value, you're just saying it's going to be positive or negative.
Okay, 25. Let's jump to that one next. Okay, evaluate without using a calculator by using ratios in a reference triangle. Reference triangle are those two, 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90. We want to find the cosine of 120. Okay, so now we're actually going to find this, and we should end up using one of those two triangles. 120 puts us where? Second quadrant. Okay, that is 120. But our triangle that we use, we're dropping to the x-axis, and we're going to use that theta down there near the origin and the x-axis. If this is 120, what is this? 60. Which forces this one to be 30. Okay, so we're using our 30, 60, 90. Opposite 30 is the 1. The hypotenuse is 2. Opposite 60 is square root of 3. But evaluate, does anything need to be made negative? The 1 does, because we went left from the origin. Okay, now I have all three sides, so I can go ahead and find this. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So this is adjacent over hypotenuse. And that's it. Question? Alrighty, let's look at 47. And then I think I have gotten something from every section. And if y'all want, we can go back and get a couple more that just look bad to you. Okay, 47 says that we want to find secant of theta, and we want to find cosecant of theta if cotangent is negative 4/3 and cosine is less than 0. Okay, if this fraction is negative, does that mean the 4 is negative or the 3 is negative? We don't know yet. One, but not the other. Okay, so we'll figure that out once we get a picture drawn. Okay, first thing we have to do is figure out which quadrant we're in. This is when we have to kind of do some investigating. If cotangent is negative, that means that tangent is also negative. So tangent is negative. Right? The reciprocals will have the same signs. So if cotangent's negative, so is tangent. What does this mean right here? Cosine less than 0. Cosine is negative. Okay, find the quadrant for me. Where is tangent and cosine negative? Which quadrant? 2. So that together tells me I'm in quadrant 2. Is everybody okay with that conclusion? Okay, so we're going to draw a triangle in the second quadrant. Perpendicular with the x-axis, reference angle up there by the x-axis as well. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Cotangent is adjacent over opposite. Okay, considering which quadrant I'm in, I'm just going to go, okay, adjacent is 4 and opposite is 3. Then I'm going to figure out where this negative goes. Does the negative go with the 3 or the 4? It has to go with the 4 because left is our negative direction, 3 is a positive direction. So now I can tell you which one the negative is attached to. Okay, find the hypotenuse for me. 5. 3, 4, 5 is a popular, common Pythagorean triple because it's small and simple. So look for that. You'll see that pop up a lot. 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I want to find secant. Secant is whatever what? Look on your formula sheet. Hypotenuse over adjacent. Okay. Hypotenuse is 5. Adjacent is -4. So I'd probably just make it -5/4. Cosecant is whatever what? Hypotenuse. How about H? Okay, H over O. Hypotenuse over opposite. Hypotenuse is still 5. Opposite is 3. There we go. It's all the same stuff, isn't it? Just giving you different information, approaching it from different angles, sorting through different processes to get to the same type of information. Okay. Questions? Do you want to find another homework problem or let your brain rest? Brain rest? Okay. Alrighty. I've done a problem of each type for you though, so hopefully that will help. Whew, I told y'all this was a long lesson, isn't it?